morning, right? The vehicle I sat in to work was still playing the Lumba songs.
What do you mean by the where's your car?
My car is a story for another day. My car is a story for another day.
Okay.
So
that explains why you came early.
not quite. You know, the truth is, if I'm driving, I probably would have gotten here way earlier. I'm not even joking.
What song was he playing?
He was playing Makramo. But it was a Daddy Lumba playlist, so like 3 or 4 songs.
Various songs from
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 songs, but it was more like the very, you know that Lumba songs, you can categorize it, right? So you have the, and Najoy the one. Then you have the, life, lessons, talks about betrayal, how to manage money, how to manage yourself.
And then you have the Ofuni Dias.
And then you have the ones that is stray.
Stray shade at people.
When Frema came on the show with Bernard and Professor Lloyd, Amwa, and Manifest on Point of View to look at, his life and legacy, during the show I got to find out, or later learned, that when someone sang the then he also responded subtly. I mean, obviously not very, officially. Also very subtly responded with "Bibi Jijo." And that song is a really nice song.
Do you realize that Daddy Lumba is the only musician? Well, not the only, but one of the very first musicians who did, crazy hairstyles and Ghanaians got away with it, and we just accepted it. Like, how is a 50-something-year-old man walking around Ghana with white braids and it's okay for us? And, because we love him, because he's a legend, because, his music is so good, that good, we allow him. Like, how?
I completely feel you on this. Have you seen the videos from Parliament?
Oh yeah, the parliamentarians eulogizing him. I saw all of that. I think it was even in backstage yesterday. Caleb and how he does it.
Yesterday too, the former president visited his home,
and he was uncontrollable. He was tearing up.
You could understand the emotions, right? Because
apparently they were very close.
Yeah, they would. And people forget. People think that he did only one campaign song for him. He actually did 2.
3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Wow, so an absolute legend in every sense of the word. And on the big front page story of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special, Ghanaians immortalize Lumba. What a legend. And to take permission from my producer, he's an amazing legend. Amazing, emphasized. Candlelight vigil at Independence Square tonight. I think you should pass there. Right.
No,
I'll bring you excerpts of that story, which continues on page 5 of the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. But also here on the front page, UDS students gets life sentence in murder over love affair. And on the back page, Black Queen's midfield maestro with unfinished business. And this is referring to Alice Kusi, wonder player, tipped for greatness in women's football.
All right, I have the Mirror, Ghana's most popular weekend paper. Living with a lion, Isinam Dras fights with bipolar disorder. Can I take action against my neighbor for excessive noise?
Are you asking me?
Someone is asking that question on the front page of the Mirror. Ex-convict teacher sentenced to 48 years for defilement. And on the back page, the Mirror Sports, they've shone a torchlight on Portia Boache, one of the Black Queens. All right. I have the Spectator. Poor nutrition leading cause of disease death. Other stories you'll find: malnutrition is a public health crisis. Daddy Lumba, a cross-generational brand, bows out. And Salamatu Ahmed, Ghana's only female Hausa sports broadcaster. That's interesting. And on the back page, they shine a torch on Grace Ajoabayo, from scoring goals to dressing Ghana's Black Queens.
Moving from the sad big story with regards to Daddy Lumba's death, also yesterday, the NDC and the country at large, laid to rest former NDC Greater Accra Regional Chairman and a very good friend to myself and a lot of us here at ChannelOne and CTFM, Chairman Joseph Kobina Ade-Coker. He was laid to rest in a really beautiful ceremony, or burial service that took place at the State House yesterday. In attendance with the president, the vice president, and other high-ranking government and party officials. May his really, really beautiful soul rest in perfect peace. Some other big stories here. Kenya University alumni urged to bridge academia industry gap at 2025 homecoming. This story is on citynewsroom.com. More stories here. US slaps 15% tariff on Ghanaian goods under new trade order. RNAQ. And I remember him. He's set to expand a food bank initiative to Ashanti region. Also here, Paul Adomotri is in the news, and we are being told by his lawyer that he hasn't been officially or formally charged by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Chieftaincy conflict, Galamsey threatening national security. That's coming in from the National Security Coordinator. Also here, with regards to agri, Ghana must intentionally build indigenous agri-business unicorns. That's coming in from the Agri-Impact CEO, Daniel Fahene. I really like his name a lot. Right, Daniel Fahene. He's the CEO of Agri-Impact. They have been doing a lot within the space. Your good friend, Apenyo Markin, is in the news. He says that he has no issues with Ahiafo, who is the deputy speaker, first deputy speaker. He says that we are adjusting in regards to his relationship. And if you use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix, there's news for you, because the producers of it have recalled this particular product over bloating concerns. So NutriFoods recall Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix over bloating concerns. And also, if you're a multi-choice user or you're a DSTV user, there's news for you, because multi-choice have said they are taking steps to address the recent suspension threat by the sector minister, Sam George. Ghana Airport Company Limited terminates revenue assurance contract with Ivatex Logistics. GTech shuts down Nyakote University. Parliament goes on recess. And finally here, in an amazing show of love and solidarity, Ghana donates 40 metric tons of cocoa products to Palestine.
All right, I am on ChannelOneNewsOnline.com. Some of the stories you will find: lack of competition behind DSTV price rigidity. That's according to Cuts International. Adomotri entitled to speak on OSP case on his platform. That's his lawyer. Zenato condemns stabbing at Kimbu SHS. Ekufuado NPP bigwigs commiserates with Daddy Lumba's family. NutriFoods withdraws Tasty Tom tomato enriched mix from market after FDA directive. Some other trending stories: RegSec to demolish illegal structures on Tamaramsa site from August 4. South Africa faces 30% US tariff after failing to reach trade deal. Majority blames NPP government for fueling Boko conflict. Ghana Armed Forces intensifies operations in Boko. GJA threatens legal action, global sanctions over journalists assaulted by soldier. And big push phase 2 to prioritize Accra-Kumasi Expressway key road projects, as according to Governance Abuja.
And if we move to the newscenter.com, big story here: Donald Trump imposes a 15% tariff on all exports from Ghana. Also big here: OSP releases Adomotri after meeting bill conditions. Ladmo unveils a 12-year strategic plan for development. And of course, the big story from the Government Accountability Series yesterday, when the Government Communications and Digitalization Minister took his turn, threatening to suspend the license of DSTV if they don't review their prices downwards. Government is using gold board to promote Galamsey. That's coming in from the minority leader, Member of Parliament for Ifutu, Alexander Penyo Markin. 16 trafficking victims rescued in Accra as police investigate kill net links. The story was on the news yesterday. And finally, they have an interesting editorial on top 5 African countries with the most affordable housing in 2025. Eno.
All right, I'm on GhanaWeekend.com. So the stories you'll find there. Akufo-Addo visits Daddy Lumba's family, pays emotional tribute. RNA kill to expand food bank initiative to Ashanti region. Support and promoters, gospel musician Regina Paddy to churches. We must immortalize Daddy Lumba's legacy, not just mourn him. That is from our MD Samuel Atta Mensah. Sam George directs NCA to suspend DSTV license if prices aren't reduced by August 7. Hulk Hogan's cause of death revealed. Do you remember Hulk Hogan?
Absolutely, the wrestler, right?
Yeah, the wrestler.
He had a lot of controversy before his final pass. You know, his daughter came out to publicly denounce any, involvement
with the will.
With his will.
Yeah.
And that was quite, very interesting for a daughter to have come out to have said that. Of course, he had a lot of racist...
There's a school of thought that says she's not serious.
Well, other people will say, well, that's also principle, right? Because irrespective of how close you are to the person, if the person, had certain values that didn't align with yours, right? Irrespective, you stand and say, I don't want to be a partaker or a beneficiary of... It's like a mother with a son who is... And I'm not saying they are even remotely the same, right? But if your mother and your son is a fraud boy, right? Will you say a Pentecost dickness or a Pentecost elder? Will you say, oh, it's my son? Or you stay to principles and say that you will not want to benefit from ill-gotten wealth. So at the end of the day, people say, oh, you're not serious, which it depends on where you are, can be really, really a legitimate, thing to say. Not just to say, well, she's standing on business, right? She's making principles. She's not serious.
Not serious. Other stories you'll find on GhanaWeekend.com. Justin Timberlake reveals Lyme disease diagnosis. Vlogger Dennis Apusika treks from Bolga to Accra after losing football bets. How? In Ashanti region, Lil Wayne storms are doomed to promote Captain Ibrahim Traore movie.
You shouldn't be reading that guy's thing. He's not serious.
I hear you. A U.S. Grammy winner, Ciara, becomes citizen of Benin under new slavery descendants law. And late high life legend Daddy Lumba, others to be honored at Ghana Tourism Awards.
Might have.
Oh, okay, there's another one here. Creative Arts Agency to hold National Candlelight Vigil for Daddy Lumba today.
Yeah, and I'll be reading pretty shortly about it. And, my comment on the actor came off as a little harsh, but to be fair, right, if you are complaining that someone's vigil is being pleased at the time you are going to promote your video, I don't think you deserve any recognition whatsoever.
This is Lil Wayne that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Let's not mention him further.
Ghanaians immortalize Lumba. Candlelight vigil at Independence Square tonight. Very brief except his voice still blares from speakers in the pubs, lingers in market waves, slips through car windows, and hums through playlists on radio and television. But he lies in silence. Aben waha, but Lumba wa asieho. The fire reached, the dance never stopped. The lyrics still stink with joy and truth. Yet today the voice that made even sorrow sound sweet is quiet. The man whose music stitched itself into the very rhythm of our lives has taken the final bow. Daddy Lumba, born Charles Kojo Fosu, was not just a name, but a mood, a memory, a movement. In a period he reached over 35 years of certain stages ablaze, he vanished like a final note fading into dusk. Tonight, a national candlelight vigil is being held at the Independence Square in his memory, with a book of condolence already opened at his family house and at his radio station, DLFM 106.9. Just last September, he turned 60, and for the first time, he let us in, not through a song, but through a rare celebration. He laughed, he waved, and he glowed. Maybe he was saying goodbye. Now the stage is empty, but the spotlight remains. The beat may pause, but the legend, he lives on in every note that dares to carry his name. And it goes on and on and on. I'm not sure if it's a tribute or an editorial piece, but whatever it is, it speaks to the legend that Daddy Lumba is. And again, may his soul rest in perfect peace.
All right, I have the Spectator, and I'm in the center, and the story reads, when the torches went out, Tamales Fire Festival silenced by fear. A bit of that story. The night air should have been ablaze with torches. Children should have been darting through alleyways with firelit sticks, their laughter harmonizing with the ancestral drums. Oh, I love the, I can picture it.
The imagery.
Yeah. Elders should have been narrating ancient legends under the glow of 1,000 flames while chants soared into the heavens. But on the night of July 6, Tamale stood still, cloaked not in the radiant warmth of Bugum Chugu, the fire festival, but in an unsettling quiet. The torches were unlit, the chants unsung. A sacred fire had been extinguished before it could even begin. And this year's fire festival didn't come on due to a number of reasons, and that's what the story seeks to capture. So the pictures from last year's festival, you see celebrants holding local guns, flaming torches. So yeah, basically it's a fire festival. So there are torches of all forms and types here. And so you can pick the Spectator and have a good read about that. They're also eulogizing Daddy Lumba in several ways. Also here in the Spectator.
There's a health story that doesn't really make for pleasant reading on citynewsroom.com. I think it was from Friday. Excerpts of it reading, I'm sure you might be interested in this. Kolebu Teaching Hospital reports 700 cancer cases annually, story by William Nah. So the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has been documenting an average of 700 cancer cases each year since 2005, as Africa continues to grapple with about 24,000 new cases annually. Dr. Hannah Na Ayete, a consultant oncologist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, reviewed that the figures during the Cancer Research Symposium focused on understanding the unique characteristics of cancers in Africa to improve treatment outcomes, as reported by the Ghana News Agency. The story goes on to say the event was held under the banner of Precision Medicine for Aggressive Breast Cancers, a research initiative aimed at advancing cancer care across sub-Saharan Africa. And Dr. Aite emphasized the need for collaborative research and capacity building to tackle the growing cancer burden. The story goes on and on and on. But clearly, something needs to be done about this. 700 annually seems to be on the high, right? And averagely on the African continent, that's about 24,000 cases. That also seems pretty high.
That's cancer.
That's cancer.
They didn't specify which type of cancer in general.
Cancers in general.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Very. And also, yesterday at the State House, like I said, the NDC laid to rest their former Greater Accra Regional Chairman, who himself, was a very regular on this platform, not necessarily Breakfast Daily Weekend, but I mean, CTFM, ChannelOne TV, the Big Issue Show. And let me tell you something. One of the photos that was printed, right, when you usually go to some of these State House or state-assisted funerals, they have like these huge photos, the print of the person being laid to rest on banners, used to decorate the space and everything. One of such photos was a photo I took personally when the late Joseph Kobena Ade-Coker was on the Big Issue. At that time, we were from Adabraka many years ago,
they didn't
about
pay for
4 or
the
5
rights
years
to the
ago.
photo.
Oh, they don't have to pay, And it was on a Big Issue set.
Are you privileged to have taken it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he was a friend, because there are times I'll call him because I also produce, current affairs shows here, so we'll talk. In fact, when he wasn't well, I quite recall one time when I called him and he said he wasn't well. He was, that was even way before he would later pass, and that he was getting better. Yesterday at his phone, I interviewed the former national NDC chairman, and he mentioned to me that at the point during their work, during the COVID period, Mr. Ade-Coker got infected with COVID, right, which kept him out of the job for some time, but he recovered. Once he recovered, he was back on his feet again, campaigning, trying to wrestle power from the NPP. And it was a really beautiful ceremony. His mates from Ade-Sadel also came to grace the occasion. Many, many dignitaries, including the president and the vice president. His family was also around, and we wish him a peaceful,
may his soul rest in perfect
peaceful
peace.
Rest. Yeah. And
before we go, have you? I'm sure you've heard of bipolar disorder.
Yes, I have.
Do you know anyone with bipolar disorder?
I know some people. I want to believe they have it, but I don't think they've been diagnosed.
If it's not been diagnosed, then you don't know anybody.
I don't think they've been diagnosed, but if I look at the way they move sometimes, I think that there might be. There might be. You probably know them too, but never mind. Go on with it.
There's Isinam dress fight, and it's here in the Mirror newspaper, and she describes it as living with a bipolar disorder is like having a lion for a pet. When you're stable, it's asleep, but during an episode, it wakes up and can destroy everything. Everything.
People confuse it a lot with, persons who are also autistic.
Oh, no, they're two completely different things.
Yeah. I had a friend whose little brother was autistic, and he said when he had an episode or a crisis, he would just go about breaking everything in the house.
Oh, okay.
And that was really a toll.
I think autism spectrum has different ways of presenting itself. Some very quiet.
Yeah.
Some until you agitate them.
Yeah, and
so
my friend was telling me
figure
that
out which one is which.
When his brother was alone, he was the best artist he's ever seen. If he took on to draw, it was unbelievable. But when the other side shows,
there's a school of thought that back in the day, most of the people who, like the Van Goghs, there's one of them, Van Gogh, one of the who had autism, but they didn't know.
Wow.
Because he was very quiet in his corner, but he drew amazing stuff.
Yeah. And
or
he sings,
they play instruments
exactly.
quite well.
When they do something, they are more like perfectionists,
Yes, because they want to get it right.
Yeah, it was telling me how they've never left him at home alone. It's impossible because you don't know what can happen. Right. So what actually started the conversation was we were talking about attending 31st night together, church service. And it's like, oh no, you have to stay with his brother. And I'm like, why? It's like, yeah, his brother is autistic and he can't be left at home alone with no supervision. But by the time they come back, maybe we should get a medical practitioner to
come talk to
us about autism, the differences, bipolar and all of those things. I studied a little bit about it in school, in my clinical psychology class. But beyond that, there's not much I know.
There's not much that you know.
So
we'll definitely find someone to come talk about it here on the show. When we come back, we have our most favorite segment on the show, What's Happening? Don't go away.
You look amazing. Have you discovered a new secret to stay healthy these days?
Actually, I have. It's called SOS Advance. It is a health supplement manufactured in the UK with 11 essential oils like frankincense, black seed, oregano, and neem, all powered by nanotechnology.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. What does it do?
SOS Advance supports your immune system against invading pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and toxins. It also provides antioxidant effects to help combat free radicals and reduce oxidative stress on your body.
Wow, I really need this. Like, I've been feeling off lately, but I can't pinpoint exactly what the problem is.
Oh, easy. I think you should get it. You can find it at every pharmacy nearby.
There's a pharmacy here! Let's go! Thank you. I beg his wound's pain.
Pregnant and lactating mothers should contact their physicians. This advert is FDA approved.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and ChannelOne TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by ChannelOne TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily Weekend right here on ChannelOne TV. Myself, Jude Duncan, and Osafo is also here. Just gone by, we brought you the news review segment, which was quite heavy on Lumba, and you can understand why, because he's an absolute legend. And exactly a week ago, we were hit with the unfortunate news of his passing. Since then, the tributes have been pouring, the comments have been coming in.